Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at Oranguru. I already started in the last video that I want to take a look at this Pokemon, and this Pokemon is amazing. Like, the thing is, for this one, it got so many buffs around like the last few seasons that it's now at a point where it honestly is such a good Pokemon to run. The thing is, for this Pokemon, you're going to have access to Confusion, which got buffed this season. We're going to have access to Trailblaze, which got added onto this Pokemon a few seasons back, as well as Brutal Swing. This Pokemon started off with like Foul Play and I think like Psychic or some stuff like this. Now you're going to have honestly so much more coverage with this Pokemon. You're going to have a fast move that generates energy now faster as well. You're going to have fast move pressure. You have great coverage, and with that, you are basically going to have a Pokemon here right now that can dominate metas. And honestly, it was a ton of fun. This team worked out super well. I went immediately 5-0 with this team. My first set directly 5-0. You're gonna see it here as well. This time around, because I get those comments all the time, I actually put the first 5 battles of the thing of this video directly added as well. A lot of times, which when I say like, oh, I went 5-0 with a team or whatever, and people then complain in the comment section, oh, there was no 5-0 in there, because my videos editing software is randomizing basically which battle is coming first. It's not based on like the actual order of the battles. Here, in this case, I just put the first set in first and then the rest of it. So yeah, basically you're going to see a 5-0 in the beginning. That is kind of already something that I just want to change here because I had a lot of comments and I don't want to cause confusion here. Those are the first battles that you're also going to see, by the way, with the elo that I'm going to have throughout the battles, which you see in the beginning, most of the battles, that those are all one set. And so, yeah, we're going to have the Fearow coming in. We're going to have a boosted already Oranguru, and we're going to have now here the Wigglytuff being able to go for a Swift. And with that, we're going to be able to finish up the first battle as, of course, with a victory here, because we're going to be able to go 5-0 immediately. So let's see on how the next battle is going to go. So next up, we're going to see Golurk here. By the way, thanks for the support as well on my recent short again. I kind of really want to start doing those shorts a little bit more. I think they're a bit more educational, which I like as well. If you haven't seen them, check them out. It's just kind of more of a team showcase for like specific teams that I kind of feel like deserve a little bit more attention as well. So yeah, if you haven't seen them, definitely give me some feedback as well. I'm still kind of in the process of trying to make everything better as much as possible. But as you can see here, we're going to have Carbing against us. Honestly, having Claydol in the back was so good. There were so many times where like a Carbing wanted to swap into me as a safe swap, and I was just able to completely hardwall them. And this is honestly where like this Pokemon shines so much. I should have went here, by the way, for the Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb would have been enough. I think I got the debuff though from the Moonblast there, the 10% chance. So yeah, at the end of the day, I am going to be able to get the shield there anyway. We're going to get out the opponent's Wigglytuff, and what we can do, which is kind of funny, we can just go for 2 Icy Winds, which is dropping the opponent's attack basically to nothing. And now we can see here on how well Oranguru is going to do against the rest of the team. We just don't have to shield here anymore. We can go for the full farm down and have the energy for the rest, but look at how little the damage is. Oranguru, by the way, has great natural bulk as well. The opponent forfeits here, and we can move on to the next opponent, where we will face a Wigglytuff in the lead. What I want to do here is I want to go for the Swift straight away. Why? Because I want to get the damage onto the opponent. I don't have a clear answer to Wigglytuff, but I also don't have a weakness to Wigglytuff. Every move, like every Pokemon here is kind of having a neutral matchup. But what I thought the opponent wants to try is to win the lead matchup, which you can do by going straight for the Icy Wind, which then drops my attack, which then allows them to win this in the 2 shields guaranteed. But I didn't really care too much about it. What I wanted is, I wanted to set up my Oranguru, because again, unless you have basically a steel type that then also resists like dark type damage, you don't have anything that really completely resists the Oranguru. And so this Pokemon has so much potential, and this is what I kind of wanted to showcase here as well. I decided to use a shield here, which seems maybe a little bit silly in the position that we're in, but honestly, I have now an Oranguru, I think with boosts on it as well. I go for the wrong move here, sorry for that. I just misclicked. Like, I just went for the Brutal Swing for no reason really at all. But I just have so much energy here now that I'm just going to be able to go for the Trailblaze spam. And even though it's not a stab move at all, we're still going to be able to reach that move so much faster now since the Confusion upgrade this season. And we have now so much damage onto the opponent. We have now the Oranguru, like the Claydol against Carbing, and of course the opponent's going to forfeit here. And so we can face off now a Pokemon that I really don't like with this team. This is the hardest answer for this team, by far. This team is not designed to deal with any Steel and Bug-type Pokemon. This is something that I will always call calculated risk for a team that I built. Is if there is a Pokemon that it's weak to, if you have a lot of times they'll play as like a team effort, but a lot of times you're just going to be in a tough spot there. But as long as you're good against basically everything else, I take those odd losses when you're going to encounter this Pokemon, as long as it's not like on every single team. and rather take really good matchups against the rest of the meta. So if I lose, because I encountered a fortress, I'm actually quite alright with it. The thing is, it's a volt switch fortress, and this changes things quite significantly. Why? Because now we are going to be able to double resist the fast move here instead of taking super effective damage. And here's the thing for fortress, if it has bug bite, our lead is actually alright against it. If it has volt switch, our Claydol is actually alright against it. And so it is not ever really going to be the biggest problem, but it's going to be a bit problematic generally. Here, we're at -2 attack now. I don't really want to be in here with -2 attack, but I have to still go for a charge move in order to not give the opponent just free energy the entire time. And it's going to be a Lapras in the back, which of course takes next to no damage now from a double debuffed Rock Tomb from a Claydol. But we can get the shield here, weirdly enough, from that Swift, which is interesting. They can go for the full farm down, that's alright. We still have 2 shields left, now only 1, because we're going to shield up the move from the Drapion. But at this point I know already, I won this battle. There's nothing they can do. There's absolutely nothing they can do. Because I know I would be able to outspeed them. I know if they let the move go here, I can go for the full farm down. And so yeah, good game to the opponent, and we can move on to the next one, where we will encounter the Carbink. Again, Carbink is a Pokemon that I have coverage with here with my Trailblaze Oranguru. It's not the ideal matchup, absolutely not. Of course, I would rather have my other Pokemon in the back. But we have an ABB style line here. We have 2 Psychic-type Pokemon in the back. So what you kind of want to do is we kind of still want to swap out of here. Even though our lead matchup is neutral and this matchup is neutral, I still rather swap out of here. Because, again, then Trailblaze is going to be better than whatever the Wigglytuff would throw. So it's still better to have here the Oranguru in. And what we're going to do here is, I'm just going to shield. I am at, I think, +2 at this point. I have a ton of energy. The opponent is going to be still forced to swap out of here, which they do as well. Now Fearow has to fear some charge moves here. We're going to have the Brutal Swing coming through. Getting the shield, I can go for another one straight away. And with this, we're going to be able to also bait out the one Pokemon that we don't want to face with our Claydol. And so we can go for the, no shield here. We don't have shields left anymore anyway. I just needed to get them low, which I was able to do here. And we're going to even get the KO here, which I didn't even need to do, to be fair. But let's see what they're going to go into. They decide to go into their Venusaur. I expect them to swap. I go for an extra fast move. That worked out super well for me. And now I have the Icy Wind against the opponent, which is going to A, drop the attack, B, drop the HP to the red health, and C, allows me to now survive a charge move here from the Venusaur, which I would have not done otherwise. And with that, we are going to be able to win this battle. And this was my first set here with this team. And so, yeah, I went straight away 5-0 with this team, which you can see as well. I can claim my Pokemon. I got a nice Wimpod. And yeah, there's more battles to come now. This team is amazing. We can talk a little bit more about some specific matchups here as well. But as you're going to see, a nice climb here. Getting close to the next rank. I'm not rushing, by the way, with any ranks or whatever. I just want to show his cool teams here. And so here we have a great lead, a great save swap, and the opponent said goodbye. And so we can move on already to the next battle, as the opponent just didn't really want to stay in there for long. So we want to have the Feraligatr here. And honestly, I find it a bit of a funny matchup, because what we will see is I'm going to use a shield here. This is a matchup that we would be able to win, I guess, all the time. We are going to be able to just go ahead and go for the Swift. If we're going to go to the 2-shield scenario, we're always going to be able to win this one. But do I want to do this? Well, let's see. I'm going to let this move go. Hydro Cannon's coming in, and I swap out into the Oranguru. And they swap out into a Clodsire. This doesn't make any sense at all, but I will take it. I have 2 good answers to Clodsire in the back though, so like I'm not really that happy. Yeah, of course, it's great to have it here now. But honestly, I like the Claydol matchup more against the Clodsire, because we resist the damage a little bit more. We have a bit more bulk even on that Claydol. Yeah, I'm just going to go for the Brutal Swing to have a guaranteed KO against the opponent, to also just realign myself. Realignment is always kind of key. If they go back into the Feraligatr, I would even use a shield here just to knock them out. They go back into the Feraligatr, I will use a shield here. I have an energy advantage. I have the boost on our Pokemon as well. And with that, we're going to have, the Venusaur against us, which doesn't really want to take a hit here, I think. And I can still keep even my energy, because I would win the CM Pitta here. I'm just going to swap out of here. I can go into my Claydol, and I'm fairly certain I still survive a hit. And with that, I'm going to guarantee win this battle here. Anyway, you all know that already. And we can move on to the next one, where we will going to face here the Goldisopod. This is going to be the exact matchup where we kind of want to have it. Why? Because we need to kind of have something that resists bug type damage. And this is going to be our lead. Our backline really struggles against bug types generally. Still, a lot of times we can at least still hit them offensively. Like, it's still going to be neutral damage from all our moves on Oranguru, and it's still going to be super effective damage from the Rock Tomb on our Claydol. So if we have energy up, it's actually not that bad either against those bug-type Pokemon, but generally this team can struggle a little bit against them. As we see though, we're going to get rid of that Golisopod early on, which is important. We swap out here, and now we see the Ferret coming in. Why did I not go for the Trailblaze? Because I just want to get damage on this Ferret. I don't care if this Ferret is like, I don't know, knocking me out here or anything like this. I just want to guarantee damage, and I think I get to another move here in time, which I do. Which I'm not too sure if I would have been able to go for with a Trailblaze before. And so here the opponent is low, and this is all I needed. This is all I needed. We have the Claydol still in the back, and this is all the information that I needed as well, because now I'm going to have the Claydol against a Carbink, and the Carbink has no play here at all. We can play this one out. They try to play it out as well. They have the energy lead or something like this. Doesn't really matter because they still outspeed them. And with that, we are going to get also here, yeah, the shield from the opponent. I can just go for another move. I can even no-shield this one. It doesn't really matter. The worst case scenario is, I guess, a Trailblaze from the Ferret. They get the attack drop, but it doesn't matter because we win this guaranteed. Or we can move on to the next one. We're going to go up against a Drapion. This is going to be alright to have it here in the lead. Of course, with the Claydol, we still have another answer for it, but I cannot go into my Saisop because, yeah, we have a Saisop that has 0 play against this Pokemon, so what do? We're gonna go for... I tried to go for the catch here and try to go for an extra fast move. I actually don't know if this... Yeah, no, actually, I don't think it should have went like this. I think I should have got a free fast move in. Anyway, we're going to see here, sadly, another Fury Cutter user, another Bug-type fast move user, which is going to be just problematic. And you saw me going for the no-shield because my hope here was that I can win this with my Wigglytuff and maybe get the shield back and basically get rid of this this Pokemon here. It's going to be such a awkward Pokemon here with the Hydro Cannon against me as well. It's just going to do so much damage. And as you see here, the opponent stops out here perfectly to catch the move onto the Drapion. Now the Drapion has enough energy in order to go for another move. And I think this is going to be the first loss of today, because they have a Florges in the back. This is a neutral matchup for us. It's not a great matchup. And this is going to be it for this battle. There is nothing that I can do here. We can still see them, of course, trying to battle it out, but we just don't have the damage output that we need. We're not going to be able to get rid of the Florges anytime soon. We're not going to be able to get rid of the other Pokemon anytime soon. And we're going to be forced to use a shield here, and they're very likely going to have still a charge move stored on their, on their Samurott. I couldn't think about the name the entire time. But yeah, Samurott is going to be able to go for their charge move here. Well done. Cool team from the opponent as well. I like Samurott. Well done there. Yeah, just let's move on to the next one, where we will encounter another very tough lead matchup for ourselves. We're going to have here the Steelix. What do we do? What do we do against a Pokemon like this? It kind of walls our lead and our Saisop. What can we do here? We can go ahead and go for an Icy Wind. This is kind of forcing the opponent to think a little bit about, do I want to swap out eventually? Like, do you want to stay in here? I'm not too sure. And so we're going to be able to take advantage of this scenario now by going to our Oranguru. Well, yes, they're going to have Crunch. We still have some nice solid natural bulk, and with that we can survive it quite easily. The issue is we don't have a Pokemon that we can really deal with here either. It is going to be superior. It's nice to have it here, I guess, compared to having it against my Claydol in the back. But I am certain, basically, that the opponent very likely is going to have another answer to ground in the back here. So I let the move go, hoping it's maybe like a Leaf Tornado. It wasn't. And I'm forced to use a shield here now because I need to get rid of this Pokemon. Frenzy Plant is coming in again. We have to try to go for the full farm down. Can we do it in time? We can at least do that. I have to swap out of here, and they're gonna swap out into their own Oranguru. And I wasn't too worried about it yet. I know I'm in a awkward position. I'm in a position that I have not a lot of chance of still winning. That is something that I'm absolutely aware of. But I'm not too sure on how this matchup is going to go, because they have resisted fast move damage, and I am going to be able to debuff them the entire time as well. And also having a 3-turn against a 4-turn fast move was kind of nice in terms of denying them. Also, I have still a Swift stored on my Wigglytuff, so this battle is far from over. And I decide to go ahead, go for another fast move here, go for the Swift, and hope for the best. And honestly, if I would have went ahead and would have went for the Icy Wind, I would have most likely had a chance here of winning this battle. But like this, the opponent is going to be able to still have their Oranguru with all the energy in the back, and with that, I have no chance of winning this, because what we see here is that while the Claydol is going to be able to survive the Crunch, it's not going to be able to survive any charge move from the opponent here. And yeah, there was a very close one. 1 HP in a dream, well done from the opponent, another Oranguru, showcasing what this Pokemon can do. And so, yeah, what do you think about this team? I think it's a great team to run. I think it's a team that you should definitely give a try. I do think that also Oranguru is a Pokemon that's highly underrated in the current meta. It is so good against so many Pokemon. Even here against the Lapras, look at this. We're going to be able to go for the Trailblaze, and this is going to do a lot of damage. We resist the fast move. We do nice neutral damage with the fast move. We have a lot of fast move pressure still here as well with our Confusion. And I could even take another hit here and still go for another charge move, but I want to really align myself. And so what I was thinking is, why not go for another charge move here and maybe then try to farm down afterwards or something? Let's see. We're going to have the no shield coming in, and I'm going to be forced to now go for a shield. Should have went for the Trailblaze here. In hindsight, should have went for Trailblaze, absolutely. I can still knock them out here though, and I have another charge move stored, so I have alignment. I have a Carbink now against me. I can just go for the Trailblaze. Trailblaze spam is going to be the best play that I can go for. As we will see here as well, we're going to see the Trailblaze coming through against the opponent. This is going to allow us to get a lot of damage in. It's not going to knock them out yet, but we're going to be able to let this move go. It is going to be the Rock Slide coming in, and we can go into our weekly tough. And in comes the Dusknoir. What I want to do is, I want to debuff them, but also what I would love to do is I would love to catch a move. We see the shield coming up. So, I know a Dynamic Punch is not going to be enough to knock me out. I know they would most likely go for the Dynamic Punch as soon as possible. And so I know they need 4 more false moves to get to another one, and I know I have a resistance in the back. And so this is going to be it for today's video. This team was fantastic. Like, this team was really, really nice. I climbed a good bit with this. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.